fill in the blank. Feeling of the day in Cleveland is?
Oh, you guys, the relief after last night is palpable. I was nervous.
I told you don't be nervous.
Key, I was nervous, and Cleveland was nervous because we felt like it was more than just 0-2 that the Browns were looking at. It was really Baker Mayfield's career was swinging in the balance because if you go 0-2 against two division opponents and you lose on a short week to a rookie quarterback at home who is a division quarterback who's also from Ohio, like all of this stuff was stacking up to tell a story that Case Keenum was going to be playing football for the Cleveland Browns before you know it, and this season was going to fall right off the rails. And so to see Baker and Odell connect, to see the Browns run the ball the way they did, to see them score 35 points, to see their coach a good game, and to get this win and get one in the win column. There was some celebrating last night on our post-game show, but more than anything else, I could sense the relief when Baker and Odell hooked up for that touchdown last night.
Well, you're going to have some more celebrating throughout the years. I've always told you that. Just it's patience. They'll be okay. They'll be okay. You just got to let it kind of marinate a little bit. Now, it's only one game, right? OBJ had a terrific game. Baker Mayfield had a terrific game. Based on last night, though, did you see enough to think that OBJ will be the long-term solution there in Cleveland?
Keyshawn, I think based on where the Browns are headed, I think that the Browns are going to trade Odell Beckham, and it's just a matter of when. Now, I know you talked about this. You guys talked about this, and we played some of the audio on our show earlier this week. It's the finances of this, that they have two $15 million receivers. That's $30 million on receivers that the Browns are paying. They also already signed Kareem Hunt to a contract extension. Nick Chubb, who I think is their best offensive player, is coming up on a contract extension. They've paid Myles Garrett $125 million. And if Baker continues to play well, they're going to have to pay him. And I just don't know if they have enough room under the cap for it to make sense. And just because Odell played one good half with Baker, which really was the first half last night. In fact, I don't think Odell even had a ball thrown his way in the second half last night. I don't think he is an important enough player to this style of offense. And I think if he plays well, that his value back in return, the Browns at some point are going to take. But I think it's just a matter of when. Is it going to be before the trade deadline this year? Is it going to be after the season? But my guess is, guys, a year from now, Odell Beckham Jr. is going to be playing somewhere else.
Wow. I mean, that's interesting. But at least they get off cheap, because if they had me, I need all $30 million. Right? No, I'm just teasing. When you look at the defense, right? Myles Garrett, Denzel Ward, those guys came to play last night against a young rookie quarterback that threw the ball 61 times and was effective in getting his team into the end zone 3 times. Is there any cause for concern on the defensive side?
Well, the Browns are super banged up in their secondary. They lost the rookie Grant Delpit for the year with a terrible injury, and hopefully he'll be able to come back from that at some point. But it's not going to be this season. They're missing linebackers and 2 corners, Greedy Williams from LSU and Kevin Johnson, who's an important player on their defense. So the hope is they get some of these guys back. But, I mean, there were a couple of guys playing on that defense last night. I don't want to name names because I feel like it's not right after they won, okay? But there are a couple of guys playing on that defense last night that should be in the Arena League or the Canadian League or not in the National Football League. So Miles made a great play, forced a turnover. Denzel was fantastic on A.J. Green, who was targeted 13 times and only caught 3 passes. That's awesome against still one of the best receivers in football. But, the Browns have defensive problems to allow 30 points to Joe Burrow and the Bengals, to allow 5 for 5 on 4th down. The nice thing is when you win, you can correct those things, hopefully headed into their next game, and then they have a little extra time, 10 days before they play Washington a week from Sunday.
Aaron Goldhammer on with us from ESPN Cleveland, Keyshawn, J. Will, and Zubin. Let me ask you this, off the field, is there anybody on Cleveland's team right now, currently in the sports world, that could basically be the face of Cleveland sports post LeBron?
So, Keyshawn, we have that billboard space, right across from the arena that became like a Cleveland landmark. Like when my friends from out of town would come in, they would want to take a picture in front of that famous LeBron billboard. It was like the most famous spot in town, even more famous than the Rock Hall or whatever else Cleveland has to offer. And eventually, I think LeBron belongs back up on that billboard in some capacity. But people were saying, here, put Baker Mayfield up there. Not after one game last night, and he's still thrown too many interceptions. Guys, I think Nick Chubb is that good, okay? And Nick Chubb might be the best running back the Browns have had since Jim Brown retired. It has been that long, and I think Nick Chubb is that good. And the combination of Chubb and Hunt, I think it's the best running back combo by far in the NFL. And I just think Nick Chubb represents so much of what the Browns want to be and what they should be. I mean, there's so many coaches that have come here and tried to throw the ball around 60 times, and Freddie Kitchens, and that's not Cleveland football. You have to have an identity in this game. And I think when the Browns went 6 plays, 75 yards without even throwing a pass to ice that game last night, it dawned on me we're spending so much time talking about Baker and Odell and their chemistry and really what the Browns need to be is a running football team. And right now, if you're going to put somebody up on that billboard, it's not Frankie Lindor, who's probably, he's got 1 foot out the door for the Indians, and nobody on the Cavs belongs up there right now. Really, the guy that belongs up there the most is probably Nick Chubb.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN Plus right now.